Students, welcome to day 22 of Commerce Revision Plan. Hope you are following the study plan regularly. If you had not watched my previous videos, please watch. If these videos are useful, please like, share and subscribe. Students, let us see day 22 question answers. Very short answers. Lesson 17. Third question. What are the rights of consumers according to John F. Kennedy? John F. Kennedy, the former president of USA, has defined basic consumer rights. The right of safety, right to be informed, right to choose, right to be heard. In the lesson, there are a few more rights are described, but you should remember only these four rights because these rights only defined by John F. Kennedy. So when they ask in specific, so you should write only these four rights of consumers. And then next is which is the supreme objective of business. Consumer is the pivotal point. They are the vital point around the business. Uh, so consumer satisfaction and fulfilling their requirements and their needs is said to be the supreme objective of a business. Next, we'll see what are the important aspects to be kept in mind by consumer while purchasing goods related to the quality goods. When they go for buying quality goods, they have to look for the standard. They have to, when they buy the industrial product, ISI, UG mark for food product, FPO. So these are the things they have to see. It will be in the label of the product. Next, we'll move to the short answers from lesson number 25. The first question is, what is Startup India? Startup India initiative. These are the schemes, entrepreneurial schemes for given by government. So here Government of India promotes entrepreneurship by mentoring. Mentoring is guiding and nurturing, bringing up or looking after and facilitating, helping startups throughout their life cycle. Since its launch in 2016 January, the initiative has successfully given a head start, an early start to numerous aspiring entrepreneurs. A fund of funds has been created to help startups gain access to funding. So here they will give fund for the entrepreneurs who start who wants to start and continuously throughout their life cycle they receive the fund. Next is they have asked for the full form of STEP, JAM, TREAD, SIP, SEED and New Gen IEDC. STEP is Step 2 Training and Employment Program for Women. Here training will be given to the women who have access to formal skill. So training facilities and especially in the women who are in rural area, they will be given training and they will be helped to do establish a business in the rural area. And next JAM is Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile. So whatever government schemes are there, government any subsidies, if the government wanted to give to the beneficiaries, it will directly transfer to their mobile. So that is Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile. And next is trade related entrepreneurship, assistance and development. Here credit, they will give fund for the underprivileged women to start the business. And next is MSIP's Modified Special Incentive Package Scheme. Here this scheme provides capital subsidy for business engaged in manufacturing of electronics in the field of Internet Things and aerospace, green technology, nanotechnology. So those manufacturing units will be given capital subsidy. And next is SEED, Science for Equity Empowerment and Development. Here in this scheme, opportunities to motivate scientists and field level workers to undertake location specific projects, especially in rural areas. And the last one is New Gen IEDC, New Gen Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Care. Here, one-time financial assistance will be given. That is non-recurring one-time financial assistance for the entrepreneurs up to 25 lakhs, those who are in the field of chemicals, technology, hardware, healthcare, and life sciences. So those entrepreneurs can get financial assistance from government. Next, we'll move to the short note on the following: Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme and Project Report. You have to write a report on a short note on these two. Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme it is aimed at helping entrepreneurs in the field of agriculture, pets and animals, and social impact. Social impact is the well-being of the society. To set up a small dairy farms, and incentives are provided to cover the cost. What are the equipments are required to establish the small dairy farms, that will be helped by the government. And next is project report. This is one of the promotional functions in the entrepreneurial venture. When the entrepreneur is going to start he's going to establish a unit, business organization, then in that, one of the function is project report. He has to prepare a project report. It has to be prepared according to the format prescribed in the loan application form of term lending institutions. And the entrepreneur can do, he can prepare this either by technical consultancy organization, or auditors are there, or consultants or development agencies. Through their help they can prepare. So actually this report will cover the aspects like the sources of finance, how the entrepreneur is going to raise the finance, technical know-how, sources of labor and raw materials, and market potential, the demand for his product, and profitability. This all should be there in the project report. Now, long answers. What are the responsibilities of consumers? There are many, but I have chosen only 6 to 7 points I have taken. The consumer must pay the price. That is one of the responsibilities. He has to pay the price for the goods according to the terms and conditions of the sale of contract. And next is consumer is responsible to apply to the, if he is staying far away, if he wants seller to deliver the goods, then he has to request the seller for delivering the goods. And next is, if he is if he is delaying in taking the delivery of goods, because of that, if seller is undergoing any loss, the consumer has to bear the loss. And if he is making payment, delaying the payment, then in that case he has to pay interest for that amount to the seller. And next is, the consumer has to no, diligently, carefully, he has to follow the instructions, precautions while using the products. He has to follow that. And then next is, the consumer should never compromise on the quality of goods. So he has to watch for the standard quality certification mark, ISA, AGMARK, FPO in the label. And next is, consumer has a right, he has a right, every right to be safe, and then to be informed, to choose, to represent, to seek redressal, right to seek information. If one of these rights are violated by the seller, then the consumer can file a complaint with the appropriate legal machinery under the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Next is, explain, this is from lesson 20, explain the advantages and disadvantages of liberalization. Here the liberalization advantages: increase in foreign investment, increase the foreign exchange reserve, increase in consumption, control over price, reduction in external borrowings. So 5 points are there. Increase in foreign investment. Due to this liberalization in trade, it make the country to attract, more attractive for inward investment. So inward investment leads to capital inflow. So there are more capital is inward investment. They receive more investment from abroad, so that helps to have more capital, so that they can have a diffusion, so that they can have the circulation of more technology, management techniques and knowledge they can have because of the flow of capital. Because of the inward investment, they can have more technology and management techniques and knowledge. And next is increase the foreign exchange reserve, relaxation in the regulations covering foreign investment and foreign exchange, that has paved way for easy access to foreign capital. From abroad we can attract capital. And then next is increase in consumption. So liberalization increase the number of goods available for consumption within a country due to increase in production. And control over price, the removal of tariff, tax barriers, this led to lower prices for consumers. And this would also benefit for the countries who are importers, so at cheap rate they can import their raw materials for their production. And then reduction in external borrowings, so liberalization reduces the dependence on external commercial borrowings by attracting more foreign investments. Next, there are certain disadvantages: increase in unemployment, loss to domestic units, increased dependence on foreign nations, unbalanced development, increase in unemployment. So, by this trade liberalization often leads to a shift in the balance of an economy. That is, some industries grow and some decline. Therefore, there may often be structural unemployment. Structural employment means what? Jobs are available. There is a mismatch between the company's need. There are vacancies, but the available workers are not matched with that available vacancies. So mismatch will be there. So that is called structural unemployment from certain industries closing. Because of that, unemployment is there. Lost to domestic units because of the fewer entry restriction. Many entrants are there. Many countries products are coming inside the country, so that is a threat to the domestic units. And next is increased dependence on foreign nations. The trade liberalization means firms will face greater competition from abroad. So when our product are not competitive to their products, then automatically they'll use to dominate our market. And then unbalanced development, trade liberalization may be damaging. This is not suitable for developing economies, because the developing economy cannot compete against the free trade, but it is suitable for the developed countries. Okay students, I hope you will follow these 8 questions and you will finish today's study plan. If you like this video, share with your friends. Thank you for watching.